Hello and welcome back. We are going to model faceted beads slightly different way this time, a little more complex. So let's start. Let's just save the design real quick. And the first thing I'd like to talk about is design modes. You can design capturing the design tree, or you can design sort of more freeform. So let's start with, if you right click up here, you can come down here, it says do not capture design history. So right now it will capture design history. And what that means is if I make a sketch, stop sketch, it's going to record this down here. And it records every step of the way. So that way I can easily go back and say, change something. Let's make it. And now everything's after down here is changed as well. It also means you can set parameters like we did before, which you can't do when you're not capturing design history. So the benefit of this method is that you can go back and easily change things. You can set parameters up, so you don't. You can easily change things that way, and you don't have to dimension every single hole or whatever. And it's really useful, but it has some limitations, and there are benefits of, say, not capturing design history. So let's do that. Let's edit this sketch and just make it 3 by 3 inch square. Or let's make it, turn it to 6 millimeters. Okay, change your setting back to millimeters, and we'll just make it a cube. Okay. So if we go up and right click it, and we go do not capture design history, timeline and all design history will be removed. Hit continue. And that's fine. We can't make parameters, and then any subsequent operation we do doesn't show up down here. And it allows you to create a little more freeform, do a lot more 3D moves and such. And it can, it can be beneficial in some ways. So let's make a faceted bead out of this square and give it separate faces, small individual polygonal faces, and we'll give it a little texture too, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's start on this face, sketch, create sketch, and let's just draw a bunch of diamonds. Okay. Have it touch the boundaries, make them kind of big so this video doesn't take too long. Okay. Diamonds, triangles, I mean, you can really do anything, doesn't matter, right? Okay, good. Let's go ahead and give it the perimeter that we want. Let's just turn off the bodies for now, since we're just making easy right angle lines. Okay, cool, and we will stop sketch. Now, what we want to do is this, we don't want this side to be flat. We want it to be kind of rounded a little bit. So we kind of need to make this sketch a 3D sketch. Right now it's 2 dimensions, so right, it's flat on this one plane. What we can do is go to the left click, go to move copy, and then select sketch objects. Now what you want to do is let's select these points. Okay. And then you switch angles and you grab this arrow and you can just drag it up. Right, let's just drag it up 0.5 millimeter. Okay, and so what you'll see is that face is now above everything else. Nice and easy, right? So everything else below it. Oh, that's actually really good. But we could also move these lines up a little bit. So let's do that. Right click, repeat, move, copy, select sketch elements. A little bit. For some reason that's not working. I think it's because I would say that's good. It's good for what we need, right? Now we want to turn all these faces into surfaces. So we'll go back to the patch workspace. We'll go to create. We'll go to patch, and then you can go ahead and select all these. Let's turn on body so we can see it. Let's turn off that body. Select all these sketch profiles that you can. Can't select those ones. Okay. Yeah, we got the makings of it so far. Let's go ahead and right click, repeat patch. Select all the edges. Okay, and you can enable chaining here. It might recognize some of the chains, but not all of them, and sometimes not the ones you want. So let's keep it unchecked. Just go through the motions. Okay, and you have one side of the bead. Looks pretty good, I would say. And the next step we can do is let's stitch it all into one surface. So select, modify, stitch. Okay. Now it's one body, much easier to work with. Now we need to make the other sides. So what we can do, let's turn the opacity on this guy down to say 40%. Okay, so now we can just we can see the outline. And let's copy sketch 2, paste it. Okay, and then we will rotate it, say, down 90 degrees, and then just drag it over. Okay, 6 millimeters. Perfect. Now what we want to do is to make sure our points are connected here. So we will edit the sketch, and let's turn off this body. It's a little crowded. Click here, and what we have to do is delete some of the constraints so that we can constrain it ourselves. So coincident. Okay, good. That one should be good. So when you select the point, you can see that you can, if you hover over the constraint, it will highlight what the current constraint is. So we want the last one, coincident point. And again, the corner should be fine. Stop sketch. And we would just patch it all up again. Okay. And basically, we just go through this process for all sides of the cube or all sides of, you know, whatever shape your bead is. So if you want to skip ahead to the final one, you can, but I'm going to just model the rest anyways. And the beauty is you can move, you can edit edit each face as you want to, and I'll show you that on the next one. So yeah, it's a slightly boring process, but you get the gist of it. So yeah, I'll do those next sides here if you want to bear with me. So let's copy this, paste it, move it over 6, and then we will rotate it. Okay. So now we have to make sure it's connected on. Make sure it's connected on both sides if you want the faces to line up, which I kind of do. So, but first, let's do this. So what you can do is you can edit. You can edit this to look however you want, right? There. Copy. So you can change each face to suit whatever you need. So let's go ahead and edit the sketch. Just get a little hectic, but it's good. Shoot, that's not what I wanted. Let's see. For some reason I cannot select point. Let's go closer. There we go. Do something here. And again, create those patches. There you go. So we are almost there. Let's stitch up that face. Okay. Let's just turn off the sketches for now, just so we can look at what we have. Yeah, it looks good so far. So 3 more sides to do. Let's turn it back on the sketch. Copy, paste. We will move it up 6 millimeters, to 90, and just keep at it. Well, looks like that one. And then back to the patch. Select all the ones we can. I accidentally deleted something. Okay. There we go. Stitch it up. You know, you could always stitch them up all, you know, at the very end, but having a lot of stuff over here gives me a kind of a big headache. I would rather have a little more concise. So yeah, it looks pretty good so far. Let's change the opacity on that too. Yeah, you know, I think it looks pretty good. So let's keep at it. I do like being able to see the lines. So not too far. Let's see. Anything. See if that one's good. That one's good. This side can change. Do. Oops. Oh, I gotta do the bottom here. Good. Good. It's getting a little crazy. Let's turn off these faces for now. For whatever reason, it's not letting me. Strange. Okay. I don't know. If I can select them and enter, still works even though it's not letting me do it there. Boom. Turn on the other bodies. Turn off the sketch for now. Yeah, see, it's coming along pretty nice. Let's turn it back on. Copy, paste. Turn it 90 degrees. Move it over. 6. Okay. Now we'll have to do every side, but let's turn off body 15, sketch 6. It should be a little easier. Nope. Try again. Perfect. Alright, now you just have to patch up your last side. And then stitch up the last one. So let's turn off the sketches, change that to shaded, and there you go. A faceted bead. Oh, whoa. Did I forget a side? No. There you go. Last thing to do is stitch those ones all together, and it should make a solid. Boom. And you can see the original square we started. Now we gave it some faces, we gave it some three-dimensional shapes, and I think it looks good. So you can use that strategy for any shape you want. So you can clearly see the ability to make 3D sketches is really beneficial, especially for something like jewelry design. Yeah, but the downside of this is now if I want to change it, tough luck. Anyways, thanks.